that violated the peace agreement between the South's Moon Jae-in and her brother Kim Jong-un. Burundi's President Pierre Nkurunziza died on Tuesday after suffering cardiac arrest. He was 55 years old. Nkurunziza came to power in 2005 after a civil war which left some 300,000 people dead. The former rebel leader took pride in the fact that he brought peace to Burundi, but Human Rights Watch criticized his government for widespread human rights abuses. His wife was rumored to have tested positive for coronavirus, a disease he downplayed, even expelling World Health Organization representatives from the country. He was due to step down in August. And now news of a very special 210 kilograms patient airlifted to Onderspoort. A helicopter carrying a 210 kilograms passenger landed safely at Pretoria University's Faculty of Veterinary Science, Onderspoort, this weekend with a specific mission made possible by various generous role players. The special patient on board was Mahuku, a 34-year-old male Western lowland gorilla from the Johannesburg Zoo, airlifted to Onderspoort. Onderspoort for a CT scan of his nasal passages. The zoo vet, Dr. Kressel Pillay, had treated Makoko several times for a discharge from his nose before Professor Gerard Steenkamp, a maxillofacial surgeon at Onderspoort, found his nasal passages were almost entirely blocked with what looked like several tumors. It was clear that Makoko needed a CT scan due to his size, strength, and the potential stress involved. It was also clear that he would have to be anesthetized for the entire journey, excuse me for that, to the hospital, and that the road trip would take too long. Scans confirmed that Makoko needed extensive nasal surgery, which will take place at Joburg Zoo's Vet Hospital in 3 weeks' time. Spokesperson Jenny Moodley says that the well-being and care of Makoko will celebrate his 35th birthday on the 9th of July remains of paramount importance for all staff at the zoo. Now taking a quick glimpse into the world of entertainment, the ongoing protest action around the world seeking police reform and action against systematic racism has prompted many to turn to movies, literature and other art forms in order to self-reflect and educate on the black experience. In this regard, the 2011 feel-good drama about race relations in 1960s America, The Help, was this past weekend's most streamed film. That news, however, did not sit well with cast member Bryce Dallas Howard, who took to social media to share that while she's grateful for the friendships she's made on the movie, The Help is ultimately a fictional story told through the perspective of a white character created predominantly by white storytellers. She said, "We can all go further. Stories are a gateway to radical empathy, and the greatest ones are catalysts for action." She then offered 10 alternate films to watch that are about the civil rights movement, lynchings, segregation, Jim Crow, and all the other ways in which those who have had an impact today. The list includes titles such as the 2013 Oscar-winning film Selma, 1992's Malcolm X, featuring a powerful portrayal of Denzel Washington, by Denzel Washington, and the 2018 documentary Say Her Name, The Life and Death of Sandra Bland, which takes an in-depth look at Sandra's tragic passing in police custody in 2015. Well, that's where we leave it for now. Here's a look at the weather. The next update will be just after 8 o'clock.
Molweni nonke ndiyathemba niyaphila and keeping warm and snugly during these cold hours, especially if you are in the Western Cape. But before we look at the weather conditions across the country, let's look at the beautiful sunrise pictures and videos that you've sent us. Photographer Generate Archibald Taylor wishes us a happy Wednesday with the sunrise video showing him having some fun on a beach in the small town of Port Alfred in the Eastern Cape. Port Alfred can expect sunny and breezy conditions today with a moderate northwesterly breeze of 20 kilometers an hour, reaching a high of 32 degrees. It seems like it's going to be a very warm day in Port Alfred. The stunning Lolita Polokwane sent us the sunrise picture of the early morning sky in Johannesburg. The city of gold can expect plenty of sunshine today, reaching a maximum temperature of 18 degrees. Thank you to both Generate and Lolita for sending in your sunrise pictures and videos. We hope that you have a fantastic Wednesday morning. While the Weather Bureau is warning of extreme rainfall for Cape Town and surrounding areas during the next few days, the UK, on the other hand, has just experienced May as the sunniest calendar month on record. And spring was the sunniest spring, the UK Met Office has said. The UK enjoyed 266 hours of sunshine in May. What is even more extraordinary is that it has followed a drenching winter with record rain in February. Meteorologists say that they are amazed at the sudden switch from extreme wet to extreme dry. It is just not British weather, they say. Now, bringing back home to South Africa, we're going to start off at Polokwane. It's a sunny with a gentle northwesterly breeze of 11 kilometers an hour at a low of 7 degrees, reaching a high of 22. Bombela, 9:28 are your temperatures for the day. It's a partly cloudy day in Pretoria, 8:20, and plenty of sunshine for Jozi Maboneng at a maximum temperature of 18 and a minimum of 8. A breezy morning and sunny afternoon for Mahikeng, 7:23 are your temperatures for the day. A sunny one for Klerksdorp at a maximum temperature of 22 and a minimum of 9. A fresh northwesterly breeze of 33 kilometers an hour for Kimberley at a low of 5 degrees, reaching a maximum of 23. Mostly sunny for Bloemfontein, 22. Summer-like temperatures for Richards Bay at a low of 19, reaching a maximum of 30. Pietermaritzburg, 11:26. Hazy sunshine for South Africa's Playground at a low of 19, reaching a high of 27. Down to the Eastern Cape, Kilometres at a low of 10 degrees, reaching a high of 27. And Monti, East London, 30 is your maximum for the day and your minimum is 14. It's also going to be a sunny day in Monti. Craddock, a strong northwesterly breeze of 43 kilometers an hour with a low of 7 and a high of 24. Well, if you like me, wearing a wig and lashes, I urge that you hold on to both of them. Port Elizabeth, it's a sunny day. 26 is your maximum and a low of 11. Sunshine mixing with some clouds for George at a minimum temperature of 9, reaching a maximum of 22. A cooler start to the day, reaching below 0 for Sutherland at -2, reaching a maximum of 7 degrees. A strong wind blowing at 44 kilometers an hour and occasional rain can be expected for Ekapa, Cape Town. 9 is your minimum, reaching a maximum of 16. Cooler with a few showers for Worcester at a low of 4 degrees, reaching a maximum of 12 degrees. Upington, 21 is your maximum and your minimum is 5 degrees. We're going to expand more on these temperatures a little later on. Now remember, whichever part of the country you're in, whatever the weather, make sure to have yourselves a fantastic Wednesday morning.
Pharma Dynamics, effective, affordable healthcare.
You heard Kutle Adams, hold on to your wigs, hold on to your eyelashes, but of course it is a Wednesday, and with it being the Youth Month in South Africa, we're finding words of inspiration from those who espouse the values of education, advocate for the rights of the child, and stand up for what's right. Now we turn to Alfie Khan, an American author and lecturer in the areas of education, parenting, and human behavior. He believes in progressive education in the sense that the learner should be actively making meaning rather than absorbing information, and they should have the ability to make a meaningful impact on the curriculum. Now, regarding the well-being of the child, he once had this to say.
So this is what he once had to say. Children are, after all, not just adults in the making. They are people whose current needs and rights and experiences must be taken seriously. Now, I absolutely love that. It's just talking about how important the present is in order to get that return on investment in the past, and the way we shape the minds and the souls of our children is important for both their present well-being as well as future prosperity.
I love
don't
it.
you just love that, Jamie?
Well, let that sink in for you for this Wednesday morning. When we return, we'll be saying happy birthday to you.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Happy birthday, a very happy birthday to you.
Hey, welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso, right here on SABC3. It's that time of the day where we wish you, our loved and loyal viewers, a very happy birthday. If it is your birthday today, you share it with none other than the beautiful Connie Ferguson, who turns 50 years old today.
Wow.
Say that again, wow. She's popularly known for her role as Harriet Koza on one of her TV productions, The Queen. Connie and her husband have their own production company called Ferguson Films, which showcases many of the raw South African talent, which is why a lot of people love it so much. The businesswoman and mother also practices a healthy lifestyle and often shares her workout routines on a social media account. Well, we can understand why, because 50 has never looked this good. Happy birthday to you, Queen.
Setting the bar right there for 50. I mean, come on, Connie.
We're
Ferguson.
in our 20s and we're just like,
Wow, we see you. But of course, you, the real celebrities at home, this message reads, we're wishing you, Kanye Sile, dreams to guide your path and health to keep your soul. May you be blessed more on this happy day. You deserve all the great things. I love that. And then wishing Walter Didericks a happy 69th birthday. May our Heavenly Father God bestow his blessings upon you. We pray that all the desires of your heart be fulfilled at the right time. You are indeed a perfect example from your entire family, sending love for you today.
the love continues with Xavier. Happy birthday to one of the most special people in the world, Xavier Marcus. Growing up is a big deal, okay? And you're on your way to figuring out who you really are in life. Have a great 16th birthday and many more after that from your mom, Ashleen, father, Jamal, and the rest of the family. Happy 16th birthday. Kayleen, a special birthday wish to my daughter, Kayleen Aransa, who is celebrating her 16th birthday today. It's a new age for you. Have a lovely, sweet 16th birthday, my dear daughter. I love you so much. From your mom, Jackie. They're both celebrating their sweet 16th today.
I know,
Wow.
so cute. And then the next one reads, best wishes to my friend Titi. May the Lord Almighty bless you more on your special day and in your future. Have a great day. And then I wish my best friend Athan Corsi a happy 26th birthday. I hope you will have an awesome day, even though we're on lockdown from Ndu.
I love how you pronounced his name. Atengosi. Atengosi.
Aten Corsi.
That was so cute.
Aten Corsi.
Happy 4th birthday to Mason Cardinal Gisman.
Geesman.
Oh, there we go.
There we
you see,
go.
now we're teaching each other here. May you have a lovely day. Mommy loves you so much. Now, those were beautiful birthday messages sent by your loved ones to you if you're celebrating your birthday. And if you'd like to send your loved one a birthday message, simply do so by sending us your birthday videos to 071-640 and 6551, or simply email your wishes to birthdays@cardova.tv. From us, the Expresso family, happy birthday.
It is your birthday today. Happy birthday indeed. Speaking of birthdays, Nicole, good morning.
Good morning.
It's not your birthday.
Not my birthday.
Not your birthday. But last week, we made a really special cake here on the show, making use of the olive oil, Be Well olive oil. It was so inspiring. So much so that we put it out to you guys to take the inspiration. And if you were able to recreate that cake, do exactly that. And then we got some contact from one of our Expresso fans, Melanie Lippert's husband, who took inspiration from it and made his own. Look at that, to spoil their special daughter on her 12th birthday. It looks amazing, but take a look at this.
Good morning, Expresso family. Come on, let's say good morning to everybody. Good morning, Expresso family. Well, we're sure you don't want to hear too much from us. You want the cake to speak to, well, for itself. So I'm going to ask Gemma to give a bite into that cake while I tell you about our inspiration. Come on, show them, Gemma. They want to see what it's all about. Right. We were inspired because we are absolute foodies. Sweet stuff being our forte. So Gemma's dad, like dads like to spoil their daughters, made her these cakes using a oil-based chocolate cake recipe. So Expresso, what we'd like to just say is thank you for your awesome recipes. You've helped make a little 12-year-old very happy. And please everybody, watch out. Expresso has got an awesome lineup of recipes.
Thank you so much for that, Melanie. Yes, and indeed, we do have an awesome lineup of recipes. Let's get into another one to keep the feel-good energy and the inspiration going. We're making Be Well charred vegetables with halloumi and chimichurri. Now, this awesome meat-free meal is loaded with crunchy green vegetables, melt in your mouth halloumi cheese, and of course, the goodness of extra virgin olive oil. What's chimichurri, you ask? Well, watch it and learn. What is chimichurri, Nicole?
Chimichurri is, I don't know if you know salsa verde, which is, like a sauce, herb sauce with a whole bunch of different herbs. This one is specifically got garlic, a little bit of oregano, and we've got mint and parsley and lemon zest and juice. So that's what makes it so zesty and fresh and vibrant.
This entire recipe already sounds like, and the ingredients that you're listing, all the herbs, they sound like such immune-boosting ingredients.
Well, yeah, it is, especially with the chili, and you've got garlic and the fresh lemon juice in here. So that's got a bit of immune boosting, and we're pairing it with some fresh veggies.
Nice.
So we've got your broccoli, your beans, and your baby marrow. So it's all your greens that you want to include in your diet.
The thing is, as soon as you see a plate filled with all sorts of greens, you know just how good it's going to be for you. It can only be good, but you are taking it to a whole new level by adding all of that infusion of flavor that is so unique, that is so different, but is so tasty as well. It's going to give us a new experience altogether.
So I'm just squeezing some lemon juice in here, and I have some red wine vinegar.
Nice.
But before I get carrying on with that, I'm just going to char off my veggies. So we've got the Be Well canola oil. So it's got a higher burning temperature. So we've got some of our greens that I've mentioned, a little bit of broccoli, your baby marrow, your beans, and a little bit of a color, radish.
Love that. What you forget to mention is that not only are you using that Be Well canola oil because it's going to add so much goodness to the meal, but also because it carries the South African Heart and Stroke Foundation logo on it, which means it's endorsed by them, which means it's good for your health, it's good for your heart.
High in omegas as well.
Oh, fantastic.
Cool. So we've got that going. So while that's busy charring away, you can put it over a braai, you can use a griddle pan like this, or if you don't have one, just do it in a smoking hot pan, and it will do exactly the same thing. You just will miss that little bit of a smokiness, but it will be good.
Great.
So we've got some extra virgin olive oil going in our chimichurri here, about half a cup.
Okay.
So we're going to mix that in with our vinegar and our lemon juice. We're going to add our beautiful fresh herbs. We've got some parsley, some mint, and then dried oregano.
I love mint.
Do you love mint?
Yeah. It's such a standard type of herb, but it's one of those you can't go wrong with.
Yeah.
You add it to anything, it instantly adds so much to any dish.
Yeah, especially like a lamb dish, it can go well with as well.
Yes.
So we're just mixing this all up together. That is as simple as a chimichurri is. So you can jar this up in your fridge and you can keep it, I'd say, about 2 to 3 days.
Okay.
But the olive oil, if you are going to keep it a little bit longer, make sure you top it up with the olive oil so it seals it and preserves it.
And how long could it stay for?
I would say about, I wouldn't do more than a week.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure that it's still fresh when you are having it. Well, listen, if you are inspired so far and you want to get involved with this recipe, go onto our website. It's www.expressoshow.com. We've got this recipe loaded on there together with all the list of ingredients that you can find with absolute ease. This sounds like a really fancy dish, but these ingredients are also easy to find in your everyday shopping.
You can get it at any stores. We've got some halloumi as well that we've just sliced up, and you're going to put that in some Be Well canola oil, and you want to at least brown it off, and then you're going to serve it all together. Nice and steamy hot, and you've got a perfect dish, a nice pack full of nutrients.
Nice, but you know, Nicole, what people get wrong often is the heating or the warming up of your oils. So whether it's extra virgin olive oil or canola oil, what is your top tip around that? How should people be heating up their oils?
So if you're going to be doing something, say like a char or a very, very high temperature, I would go with the canola oil because it's got a higher burning temperature than olive oil. And olive oil is your more subtle, slow heats, and it's beautiful for dressings like we've made here and salads as well.
I say a lot of people get it wrong, but I actually meant me. I always get the heating wrong, and then sometimes I have to redo the whole process all over again. So that's pretty much it. That's what you do. And when it's done, this is what it looks like. This is the end product. Look at that. Not only is it so pleasant to look at because it's so pretty, you just want to eat it, but you also know that it's packed with so much goodness and it's going to be good as an immune-boosting type of meal. Go onto our website, www.expressoshow.com, and get the recipe with all of the ingredients. Of course, it's clear to see that, you know, food is not only important for our health, but it can also feed the soul too. And this looks like a meal that's going to feed our soul, create memories and delicious food today. Go and download a free immune-boosting cookbook. BeWell have made this available actually on their website, which is great. They've got a whole recipe loaded there. Share your creations with us on our social media. We want to see. Let's start sharing the love today with BeWell and Expresso. This is really, really nice. I can't wait to eat this. Thank you, Nicole.
It's a pleasure.
Made with love, man.
Visit bewellfoods.co.za to download your free immune-boosting cookbook today. Be well. Love, food, life.
Is he on? Oh. Hello, Mr. Matakanya.
Good morning.
Unjani?
Ukhona njani sisi?
Alright, enkosi. I'm so sad that asikwazi ukubona.
Hayi man, it's where's the way you muhle ngakhona bangitshela.
Since the lockdown, colorful images of rainbows have appeared in windows across the world. The Crazy Store wants you to bring your rainbow artwork in store to fill their windows with hope. And for every rainbow artwork received, you'll get 10% off of your purchase.
Well, that's not all. Plus a free helium balloon to take home. Now, rainbows are a symbol of hope in many cultures and promises of better times to come. So go on and unlock the crazy at the Crazy Store.
Welcome back as we return to very much a burning topic this week, very important one, at that 95% of the country's schools were officially reopened as of Monday morning for grade 7 and grade 12 learners. It may have come as a relief to some who've obviously had to endure online learning for more than 2 months and homeschooling. But there's still a lot of anxiety in the air for parents around their children's safety, obviously, during the pandemic.
Exactly. And this morning we are joined by the Secretary General of the National Association of School Governing Bodies, Mr. Matakanya from Johannesburg, to talk about how schools have been adapted to create a safer environment for the learners. A very good morning to you, Mr. Matakanya. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Okay, good morning, and all your listeners.
Thank you so much. I know a very stressful week for many going back to school. We've got to ask, how was the first week? How's it been thus far back at school for both the learners and I think also the educators we often think about in this instance? What have the reactions been so far?
Thank you very much, Graham. We monitored the areas, and I was getting reports all over the country that the majority of schools returned the teachers and the children. However, in some schools, the total number of grade 12s were not all. There were few who were not at school. So, but at that time, we did not get the reasons why they did not return. However, in one school, then we found that now there were 2 children who have comorbidities. So they were separated from the rest of the children. And it was really painful because those two children's parents could not respond quickly. And the children were really frustrated because they could see their friends, their peers learning while they were separated, staying outside. And the countrywide, then there were areas that did not have water at that time, and some did not really receive the PPEs. And the other areas where because the space now is not really a problem. It's not a problem because it's only grade 12, it's only grade 7. So there's no problem. Then we found that now the space is, it's fine for the children. It's 1.5%. The distance, question of social distancing, having masks the masks in the class, and except some schools went and closed at the same time, but it was not a big number of schools that went, and only to find that some teachers contracted the virus, then immediately the schools closed. Wow. So then that was just that mixed reaction of parents, and some parents were just saying no, they could not take their children to school at this stage because they are not sure of what really is to happen with their children. Although we encouraged parents to say, look, go to school, check whether the school meet the health standard. And what we meant by the health standard is that on the 26th of April, we met the minister and told her that, look, if the school do not meet the non-negotiables, that school will not be opened. And you remember that the minister wanted the schools to reopen on the 1st. We said, no, the system is not ready. So then finally, then the minister said that week, that followed, then the week of the 1st, then it will be the week for mopping up, and they really mopped up in some instances. They really mopped up because at that time, schools did not have water, schools did not receive the PPEs, schools were not ready, and in some schools, they did not have the screeners, people who are going to screen, the teachers who are going to screen the learners when they come to school. So the system at that stage was not really ready, and we indicated to her that, look, schools cannot open at this stage because the system is not ready. So we finally agreed. Then the second week, then we opened. This is the week that we opened. So we are still monitoring really the areas where still some glitches. We see the end of this week whether they will have met the whole health standard in our schools.
Mr. Matakane, I've got to ask, because we know that there was a kind of long-running battle with regards to water, with regards to sanitation and PPEs. How many schools don't have the requisite requirements in place, and what's being done to address that? Is that being driven by the schools? Is it being driven by government? How are we addressing that?
I may not have the numbers as of now because our structures are still reporting. Probably towards the end of the week, I'll be knowing whether schools that did not have water, schools that did not have ablutions, are all received that. But in some areas, then parents were phoning me where there are no ablutions, there's no water. Then I was able to phone some MECs in some instances. So I was promised that they are bringing in the mobile toilet. They're bringing in the mobile toilets. But now, because the real abolition, the toilet, there's no toilets whatsoever in those schools. So they are bringing in the mobile toilets. So, but what worries us mostly is the sustainability. Yes. Whether really after the pressure, then they would those mobile toilets, the water that brought by the tankers, the Zozos in the school will not be continuously supplied, and all this. That's one worry. But for now, they are bringing those, and then I was promised that now they'll be bringing those mobile toilets in where there are no ablutions.
Well, hopefully this will spark a long-term change in those very key areas, and at least now we are focusing on putting our learners first, and hopefully we can empathize a little bit with the parents who are also going through this with their learners, and of course the teachers. Mr. Matakanya, thank you so much for joining us this morning. I know a very busy time for you, so good luck for you and your department as well.
Have the best. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thanks.
It seems like we still have a long way to go before we can call victory on the COVID-19 virus in South Africa and across many schools that are under-resourced and need the assistance, that they need to get back on track with the curricula and with their peers around the country. And there are lots of readjustments for many industries and sectors still to come.
But we do certainly appreciate the careful thought that has gone into the decision-making, returning to school made by the Department of Basic Education, as well as the diligence from educators in creating as much of a safe environment as possible for learners. All of this, of course, has to come secondary to the actual learning as well. So we certainly wish everyone well.
It's so interesting seeing how we, the learners and everybody else, is adjusting to the current changes in our environment. And speaking of adjustments, we are into the thick of winter. We are deep in, and it's so chilly in the studio. And we're asking you guys, how are you adjusting to trying to stay warm during the winter cold and the temperature drop, and seeing what new tricks and tips you guys have. And we asked you on social media, and of course, you guys came through with the business. So let's check it out.
The first one is in from Colleen Kinshela saying, "Hello, Expresso family. I'm keeping warm by pulling my kids close to me, staying in bed and watching movies." Absolutely, Luke is my cuddle buddy.
I love that trick.
Our top fan, Josephine Pixon, says, "Good morning, family. It's thunder and storm outside. I keep myself warm and cook warm, hearty food and stay inside." Well, we have some more inspiration in the kitchen with Nicole and Clem a bit later on, so stay tuned for that.
We do. It's soul food indeed. And now next up, coming through, we've got Fortunate Sele. I usually rearrange my wardrobe. I usually store all my 3 seasonal clothes in my suitcase and take out the ones that complement the season at the time and put them on drawers and hang the necessary items. Fortunate, you are just jacked up. Your wardrobe is sorted. You should come work in the studio. And then next up, I see we've got Patricia Scapes. Mansfield says, "I bake bread, hot puddings, and soup is on the menu." Patricia, I wish I could visit you. I need that loving.
And then last, we have Natasha saying, "I'm cooking up a storm already with my coffee, soup as a starter, and a Cape Malay curry, malva pudding with hot custard for dessert." You are speaking our language. We love it. Remember to keep connecting with us on our social media. But maybe you like me and Raul that loves Omar Rusk in the morning. Well, Tabisa and Kutha is going to show you how you can win with him.
We all do love our Omar Rusks in the morning, not just in the morning, at any hour of the day, especially around these times of the year when the temperatures start to drop. And I don't know if you were watching it, well, you played the game yesterday, but I don't know if you were watching yesterday for our 24-hour dipping challenge with Omar Rusk this week. We asked you to send in a photo of you dipping your Omar at either 6 a.m., 7 a.m. or 8 a.m. Now, the 3 people who sent the best photo for each hour will win an Omar Rusk camper valued at 500 Rand and make it onto our leaderboard, which is so exciting.
So far, Uncle Tabsy, we have received some great photos and we're going to add them to our wall today. But if you send us a better photo by tomorrow morning, you could still knock someone off the leaderboard and be deemed the winner.
So our first photo is from Jolene Howard. Take a look at that. She did her dip at 6 o'clock in the morning, 6 a.m. whilst doing some ironing at the same time. Oh man, a queen, you've got to stand. She says that she is a multitask dipper. She can do multiple things at the same time and still be dipping. Love it. Thank you so much, Jolene. You absolutely, without a doubt, do make it onto our leaderboard for 6 a.m. Queen.
I love it so much. Now, our next photo is from Mark Gavin, who did his dip at 7 a.m. Here's Mark with his crazy mask in what he calls his undercover drip. Mark, for your mask alone, okay?
Yeah.
We are putting you on the leaderboard for the best dip or drip at 7 a.m.
Jolene and Mark. And lastly, our next photo is from Gary Oakham, who says, "Since breaking my arm, it's been messy to dip, but I just ate my 2 rusks at 8 a.m. Gary, listen, for your pure dedication of doing that, you take the slot for the best dip at 8 a.m. That is stunning work. Well done. Well done.
Well done. They're creative and we love them.
Yeah, I love
they
that.
are worth the win. Now to everyone watching, go grab your rusks and coffee and enter our 24-hour dipping challenge. If you send a better photo than Jolene, Mark or Gary by tomorrow at 11 a.m., you can knock them off the leaderboard and claim one of 3 Omar Rusk hampers valued at 500 rands. Now remember to post your photos on the competition post on the Expresso Facebook or Twitter pages. T's and C's apply and can be found on expressoshow.com.
What's the time? What's the time?
The time is now 7:39.
I'm a 7:39 deep.
That doesn't count, okay?
Our favorite Omar Rusks just got a whole lot more yum yum with the all-new peanut butter flavor. Anytime is dipping time.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
You're with your feel-good breakfast show. It is Expresso here on SABC3. Now, we all know that play is vital to a child's development. And now more than ever, orphaned and vulnerable children across South Africa need our help. You know, being confined with limited stimulation, including the assistance of volunteers and teachers, puts additional strain on their caregivers and their ability to play. Now, human potential expert Nikki Bush and brand manager Atlanta Moodley, they join us on a video call to talk about Cadbury Dairy Milk Glass and a Half project that is giving the precious gift of childhood to our nation's orphaned and vulnerable children by providing really engaging educational toys, books, and games. Such fantastic work being done, but we'll hear all about it. Good morning, ladies. Nikki and Atlanta, thanks for joining us this morning.
That's a pleasure. Lovely to be here.
Nikki, can you explain the importance, first of all, of play and the impact that it has on children, particularly the orphaned and vulnerable, and why playtime is even more important now during this period?
Well, Tabiso, it is essential that we understand that play is the language of childhood. It is the least stressful way in which children can learn absolutely anything. And it's also a way for children to work out their stress and their anxiety. Young children don't have the words to explain what that means and how it feels for them. So they can play their sillies out. And of course, learning through play is essential. It's a way of ensuring that children develop this curiosity for learning, this love for learning in an unstressful way.
And then you've got the Cadbury Dairy Milk Glass and a Half project entering to intervene in this regard. Atlanta, can you tell us more about the Cadbury Dairy Milk Glass and a Half project and the awareness Cadbury Dairy Milk aims to raise with this powerful initiative?
So as you know, in 2019, Cadbury Dairy Milk launched a Little Generosity Shop, which was all really around turning pre-life toys into real-life treasures and giving orphans the precious gift of childhood. And this was really all based around the insight that there are millions of orphaned children across our country, many of whom do not get to experience the joy of having their own toy. So going into 2020, we really do believe that now more than ever, orphaned and vulnerable children really do need a space to feel hope and to feel comfort. It all starts with our limited edition bars, which are available in our 5 favorite Cadbury Dairy Milk variants, an 80 gram and 150 gram. And what's really great about these packs is that on each variant, you'll see toy, book, and game icons, which is really all about highlighting the initiative and what we are supporting. So with every bar that's purchased, our consumers will be contributing towards donating 1 million rand worth of toys, books, and games to orphans across South Africa.
Last year, we really got to see that there really is indeed a glass and a half in everyone. And I'm so glad to see us coming back and tapping into that again. Nikki, with social distancing at the moment, what are some tips that you've got for parents and caregivers to bear in mind in confined spaces, obviously, when it comes to stimulating their children and the effect that this can have on a child?
Social distancing for children to be so is difficult because children, like all human beings, but particularly children, they are multi-sensory human beings. Now that children are largely confined at home, we need to make sure that we create stimulating, rich environments for our children. And that means the use of toys, books, and games to help them to interact with the world, to help them to learn, to stimulate their imagination, their creativity, their problem solving, their leadership skills, their critical thinking. And of course, when there's an adult involved in the play process, that also helps children stay committed and focused and concentrating for longer periods of time. When I went shopping the other day at the supermarket, I saw these just beautiful, beautiful packs, these new sleeves for all the dairy milk chocolate that is involved in this campaign. And I think that every child would love to receive one of those bars of chocolate. So if you have the means to buy a bar of chocolate in order to contribute to this glass and a half campaign, I think that you could even bribe your children to keep their rooms tidy for a week, and they can have one of these bars of chocolate, which means they in turn, by earning the bar of chocolate, are giving something to somebody who's less privileged than themselves.
And it's one way, Nikki, you're right, one way of teaching our children just the value of generosity and the impact that it can have on those who are less fortunate. Nikki, what sort of toys, books, or games do children need to thrive during play, and why is giving them access to these items so important?
To be so, that is a very big question because there are so many different categories of games and toys. And I've been on this show for so many years. We've discussed things like toys that children can ride on, balls they can hit or kick or throw. We've discussed sensory play, so things like Play-Doh, anything that is squishy and that they can experience the sense of touch and how hard to push and pull and rolling. And what about construction toys? So any kind of building block, anything you can push together and build something using imagination, using creativity, fine motor coordination. You see these fingers, when I hold a pen, okay, anything that makes a child hold something with the pincer grip. So if it's a threading activity or a construction toy, that is strengthening the hands for writing. And that's a big thing with games and toys, is strengthening the visual system, strengthening the hands, strengthening the posture. So we have to be careful that children don't spend all their time during lockdown in front of a screen.
Alanta, how can we all get involved in the Glass and a Half project to give children this precious gift of childhood?
Well, it's really, really simple. So all you would need to do is go into your local store and purchase any participating Cadbury Dairy Milk limited edition bar, and you will be contributing towards donating 1 million rand worth of toys, books, and games to all our beneficiaries that we are supporting. These packs will be available in store over June and July. And if you require any more information on the Glass and a Half project or how you can be involved, please visit our Cadbury website.
And it's really about tapping into the generosity of all South Africans to show that there is indeed a glass and a half in every single one of us. I love it. I love this initiative. Nikki Bush, thank you so much for joining us. And of course, Alanta Mudli, fantastic work you are doing at Cadbury. Thank you once again for joining us this morning.
Thanks, Tabiso.
And now, for a limited time, when you purchase a Cadbury Dairy Milk variant wrapped in special edition sleeves, you will contribute towards a 1 million rand donation of educational toys, books and games for orphaned and vulnerable children across South Africa. Find out more about how to be part of this amazing initiative and being part of making a difference with Cadbury Dairy Milk Glass and a Half project by visiting www.cadbury.co.za and follow them on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram with the hashtag Glass and a Half.
Every bar purchased contributes towards toys for orphans. There's a glass and a half in everyone.
It's my feel-good breakfast show. Welcome back to your feel-good breakfast show, Expresso, right here on SABC3. Now, I know that we are heading into winter and we are going through a global pandemic. Unfortunately, we all know that there are a lot of people who go through everything without food on their table, which can be very difficult. The time to act is right now, and thankfully, Woolies is providing a platform for us to help. Partnering with the Gift of the Givers, Woolworths aims to donate 1 million meals to families in need. For as little as 10 Rand a day, you can provide one person with 3 meals for a day. Just scan the QR code on screen using the SnapScan app or your banking app on your phone and donate whatever amount you can to contribute towards a bag. Remember to encourage your family, your friends, your neighbors, colleagues and chat groups to do the very same thing. Every little bit will definitely make a difference. Right, Chef Clem?
Can you hear the rain?
I can hear the rain.
It is.
It is pouring.
So I feel like the dish we're making today is really suited for the weather outside.
Oh, absolutely. You're actually introducing us to, is it azuki beans?
Azuki beans.
Oh.
I mean, how beautiful do they look? When they're still dried, it's like a deep brown purple color, and it's just like mesmerizing to even just look at. And then you hydrate them by putting a little bit of water on them, leaving them overnight, and then you pop them into some water, and then they just cook. It's so delicious. Normally, Asian food is used in like sweet dishes.
Really?
The starchiness they bring out, they add a bit of like sugar to it, and they serve it like a dessert.
Oh, okay, that's very interesting. So wait, before we get into the recipe and how to achieve this final product, you first have to cook your beans overnight.
Cook your beans. So just for viewers at home, we haven't told you what we're actually making. We're making a lentil and roasted butternut cottage pie. But we're kind of like swapping out the vegetables and making it a little different, adding some different. We're using lentils, we're using the beans for texture.
Yeah.
We're not using any meat. So we're gonna not replace the meat with that, but kind of like just create more familiar textures that we have in the dish.
An alternative.
Absolutely. So prepare your beans. I'm gonna start by cooking off my mirepoix. Remember what that is?
Mirepoix?
Mirepoix.
Is it your spring onions?
That's our leeks, our carrots, and our celery going in.
Oh,
that's gonna be the base of our dish.
Okay.
Anytime, like I said, anytime you start with this trinity, you know you're about to get something that's amazing. It's gonna be good.
You have to. I'm so shocked that you don't have any garlic here.
Where's my
Sorry. Okay.
What? How you know? Okay, so there's about 5 cloves of garlic in here.
Okay.
And I like a good amount of garlic in this because you can cook it down. And as you cook it down, you take out that potency out of the garlic. So don't be shy. And also, you need this right now. Garlic's good for you.
Oh, garlic
it's
is
so good for you.
It tastes amazing as well.
It is.
It's a fantastic addition to your meals.
Another thing that's good for you is chili. So a good way to check if your chili is okay is just like...
What? Okay, wait, we need to do what?
Okay,
Okay,
now I
you
must
need to
do
demonstrate for us.
Okay, I will demonstrate for you because I'm okay. I can handle it. I do like... I think you should taste your chilies, okay?
Okay. So what are you looking for in the taste?
I'm okay. Right, so...
Blink twice if you need water.
No, I'm good. So it's got a nice heat. Obviously, the smaller the chili and the tighter the chili, the more heat it has in there. The bigger the chili and the looser it actually feels, the less potent it's going to be.
Okay, that's
I like kind of tasting the chilies because you don't want to overpower your dish. This is nice and warm. Also, chili has flavor. Don't forget it. Chili doesn't just have heat. You want a bit of flavor. That's a citrusy note that comes from chili. So play around with your chilies at home. That's going to go in there. That's also going to mellow out. So even if it was nice and hot, it's going to chill. Okay, that's going. Then... a great way to add umami. Umami is kind of like a very savory note that we've picked up over the past decade that our brain and our taste buds can pick up. So meat has a lot of umami. We've taken the meat out, so to add the umami in, we're using tomato paste. You'll also find umami in parmesan and anchovies. It's just that beautiful savory note that gets added to a dish. It makes it ultra delicious and makes your brain like want more. Okay, so that's in there. We're gonna add some, no, not yet. Okay, cool. Talk about the butternut.
Is that pre-cooked?
It's pre-roasted.
Okay,
when it comes to veggies, and especially cooking vegetarian dishes, the one thing you should try and do is roast. Roasting veggies adds a little bit of charriness to it. It adds depth of flavor to your dishes. Also, steaming vegetables and boiling vegetables with me is like very like overdone. The texture is very like soft and mushy, and we don't want that.
No, not at all.
You roast it, you keep the texture of your veggies, and you add a little bit of depth of flavor. That's going in there. I just like this dish because everything gets banged in all at once.
Oh, everything is going in the same pot.
Everything's going in the same pot. Okay, let's talk about our azuki beans now. So we're gonna add literally everything. There's not even any order. Now we just hoi. Okay, I've got some lentils and I've got red lentils. And I love red lentils. I love lentils in general.
I was about to ask, do you enjoy vegetarian food?
I like curries and vegetarian curries. For me, it's absolute, I can eat it all day long. One of my favorite vegetarian dish is from Cass Abrams. She makes a dal curry. Amazing. And then there's another chef I look up to. Her name is Karen Dudley. It's just the way that she gives so much respect to like the simplest ingredient. Like it'll make you want to eat vegetables every single day. And I believe it's that. If you literally give respect to the vegetables that you're working with and you cook it correctly, you could get away with being an accidental vegetarian without even knowing about it, which I think is really great. Okay, next we're gonna go.
It smells so delicious already. The aroma just filling the studio up is...
It does. It does.
Mouth-watering.
Okay, a little bit of time. I'm not even going to bother taking it off the stalk right now, because what happens as it cooks, it falls with the stalk, and you just take the stalk out. Can I get a bit of rosemary from you? Lean back, lean back.
Up.
Bit of rosemary, because we can. That's going in there. Everything's going to cook down, and when you cook it down with a little bit of tinned tomatoes.
Okay, wait, are we going to act like that didn't happen?
What?
Oh, so you can just grow your own little rosemary plant at home.
Oh,
and
you
can
didn't
use
see
it
that. Yeah, I mean, we go to Woolies, we buy all our potted plants from them, and then we just grow our own. Just go for it.
That's very interesting. That's a cool addition to your kitchen and your home, actually.
For sure, absolutely. Let me clear up a little bit here. Next thing we've got to do our sweet potato mash. Very easy. You can use a normal mash on the top, but we're going to be a bit different today. You can use pumpkin, you can use butternut, but we're going to go with sweet potato just for today.
And also, we already have pumpkin in the pot, so...
Oh, the butternut, for sure, absolutely. So whatever you want to use, go for it. Also, let's talk about the beans. We use the azuki beans. If you can't find azuki beans, use kidney beans, use butter beans, use baked beans. Absolutely.
Baked
because
beans.
that's also the tomato sauce in there with that.
Oh, that's true, because already we did put in tomato paste.
For sure.
Yeah.
So it's going to bring a nice sweetness, and it's also going to thicken your sauce, your filling. So all you want to do with this is give it a nice mush. I use some goat's cheese. You can totally take that out. You can go without the cheese. I just like a little bit of a twang from goat's cheese. So get that in there. A little bit of salt. Oh, and salt for that one.
Oh, that's a lot of salt.
No, it's not. It's also flake salt.
Okay.
Flake salt, if it was normal fine salt, yeah, for sure, you want to go a little bit less. But flake salt has less surface area, so you can actually use a little more of it.
Okay, I see. Well, Chef Clem, this is a very interesting dish that I think I actually would like to try at home, especially with the, the meat alternatives.
Yeah.
See if perhaps I can also get away with some vegetarian dishes. If you want to get your hands on this awesome recipe, make sure to go to taste.co.za.
And we also, yes, we are filling our tummies right now, but we're also talking about making a difference in people's lives.
Yes.
So on screen, you'll find that QR code. It is so simple. Scan that QR code. The smallest amount makes the biggest difference. We talk about 10 Rand provides 3 meals for one person. That's mind-blowing. And if you can do 10 Rand, I can do 10 Rand. Imagine the difference in studio we can make. So please, to our viewers at home, scan that code, make the smallest donation, make a difference. Do it for us.
Thank you, thank you.
It's now the top of the hour. Let's delve back into those news headlines, starting here in South Africa, where Police Minister Bheki Cele yesterday condemned the murder of a young Johannesburg woman, Tsegofatso Pule, whose stabbed body was found hanging from a tree in Durban Deep in Rotators. Pule was 8 months pregnant. Her murder is the latest in a series of violent attacks against women which have rocked South Africa in recent months. He also expressed his concern about possible revenge attacks following a mass shooting that killed 6 people and injured 1 in the Jabulani hostel in Johannesburg on Monday night. The motive behind the shooting is still unknown. Then the South African National Taxi Association in Gauteng has vowed to stage a shutdown of their services on the 22nd of June should government not announce that they will benefit from the various relief funding available to other affected sectors of society due to COVID-19. The association added that if the government provided relief, it would scrap the proposed fare hike that would have seen commuters in the province paying 60 Rand a day for their return trips instead of 22 Rand. They would then instead announce a lower fare increase. In broadening our gaze on the international front, a statue of Belgian colonial King Leopold II, under whose reign millions of people were murdered in what is now the Democratic Republic of Congo, has been removed from the city of Antwerp, that following the Black Lives Matter protests in the area. Statue of noted slave master Robert Milligan outside the Museum of London Docklands has also been removed. That was after London Mayor Sadiq Khan earlier announced a review of all of London's statues and street names. Then on Sunday, anti-racism protesters in Bristol tore down a statue of slave trader Edward Colston. Staying with the topic, Kenyans from all walks of life yesterday held protests in various parts of Nairobi to demand an end to police brutality in their country. They also marched in solidarity with protesters worldwide who have championed for #Black Lives Matter. Outside the Kenyan Parliament, marchers donned face masks emblazoned with the names of some of the victims of police brutality in the country's low-income areas and demanded an end to police killings. We've seen similar protests held in various informal settlements of Nairobi, as well as outside the US Embassy itself. And now news of the second in line to the British throne's wee little secret. The Duke of Cambridge, Prince William, has revealed he has been anonymously volunteering on a crisis helpline which offers support via text message to people in personal crisis during lockdown. Now, those texting the round-the-clock service did not have a clue they were talking to the second in line to the British throne, because the shout's 2,000 other volunteers, William, used a pseudonym on the platform. The Prince had been answering messages after being trained by the mental health charity. He told fellow volunteers in a video call that he had a little secret to share with them and then revealed his true identity. The Cambridges and the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, Harry and Meghan, helped to launch Shout 85258 last year, investing some £3 million in the service, that via their Royal Foundation. In a little over a year since then, more than 300,000 text conversations were received on the service. Some 65% of those texting are under the age of 25, the charity has said, with many seeking mental health support. Now, turning our gaze to the world of entertainment, the Miss South Africa platform influence and reach has grown leaps and bounds in the last few years, with the 2017 and 2019 Miss Universe winners, Demi-Leigh Thibault and Zazubini Tunzi, shining a particular spotlight on our queens. As such, with the search for Miss SA 2020 going online amidst the COVID-19 pandemic, a record 2,500 entries have been received, with the process now aimed at whittling this number down to just 35, then of course the top 16. The judges allocated to the first round are former queens Bokhang Monjane Chabalala, Lisa Laurie and Are van Heerden, and veteran judge and media personality Anela Mdoda. Anela was part of the panel that sent Miss SA 2014 Rolling Strauss on her way to winning Miss World, as well as Ozubini's 2019 panel. and says she doesn't wish her to feel any pressure to find the next international winner. While laughing off her Monkiera as the judge with the Midas touch. When asked what she is looking for, she said, "I have always looked for authenticity and a strong sense of self. We just serve as the springboard. The crowd finds the contestant while she is looking for it." And we certainly wish all of the 2,500 entrants all the best on their new journey. That's where we leave our headlines for now.
We have passed the top of the hour by 3 minutes. Time for us to have the final look at the weather this morning. But first, are those stunning sunrise pictures that you've sent. Mark Travis Snell, pictured with his adorable daughter Isabella, would like to wish us a good morning with a stunning sunrise picture all the way from Port Elizabeth. The windy city can expect warm conditions this morning and a breezy afternoon, reaching a maximum temperature of 26 degrees. Ali Maliswana also sent through this beautiful sunrise picture from Mthatha in the Eastern Cape. Eastern Cape is representing this morning. Tata can expect mostly sunny conditions today, reaching a high of 27 degrees. Thank you so much to both our Mark and Aliza for sending in your sunrise pictures, and we hope that you'll have a fantastic day further. While the Weather Bureau is warning of extreme rainfall for Cape Town and surrounding areas during the next few days, the UK, on the other hand, has just experienced May as the sunniest calendar month on record, and spring was the sunniest spring, the UK Met Office has said. The UK enjoyed 266 hours of sunshine in May. What is even more extraordinary is that it has followed a drenching winter with record rain in February. Meteorologists say that they are amazed at the sudden switch from extreme wet to extreme dry. It is just not British weather, they say. But now we bring it closer to home, starting off at Polokwane with a maximum of 22 degrees and a minimum of 7. Sunshine from Mbombela at a low of 9 degrees, reaching a maximum of 28. Mostly sunny for Pretoria, 8:20. It's a sunny day in Jozi Maboneng at a maximum of 18 and a minimum of 8 degrees. A breezy morning and sunny afternoon for Mahikeng at a low of 7 degrees, reaching a high of 23. Sunshine for Klerksdorp, 9:22. A fresh northwesterly breeze of 33 kilometers an hour for Kimberley at a minimum of 5 degrees, reaching a maximum of 23. Bloemfontein, 4:22 are your temperatures for the day. If you find yourself in Richards Bay, 19 is your low, reaching a high of 30. Sunshine mixing with clouds in Pietermaritzburg at a low of 11 degrees, reaching a maximum of 26. Durban, 19:27. It will be a warm day in Mthatha with a maximum of 27 and a minimum of 10. Abundant sunshine with a moderate northerly breeze of 24 kilometers an hour for Monti, 14:30. Cradock, 7:24. A warm morning will turn into a breezy afternoon in Port Elizabeth at a minimum temperature of 11, reaching a maximum of 26. George, 9:22. The coolest start to the day reaching below 0 for Sutherland at -2, reaching a high of 7. Cape Town, Ekapa, 9:16 are your temperatures for the day. Worcester, 4:12, and plenty of sunshine with a moderate westerly breeze of 20 kilometers an hour for Upington at a low of 5 degrees, reaching a maximum of 21. The South African Weather Service has warned of a cold front to hit most parts of the country. Right now, Jamie Lee and Uncle Tabsy sit down with Henning to help unpack these warnings for us.
Well, if you haven't already, it's time to take out those warm and heavy winter blankets and prepare the hot chocolate and Omar Rusk as winter is officially here. Now, the South African Weather Service has issued a stern warning about an intense cold front that will be hitting most parts of the country.
That's right, that's right. The Western Cape, the Northern Cape regions, they're going to be seeing cooler temperatures from today with strong winds and heavy rains. We need to brace ourselves. Senior forecaster from the Western Cape, here in Cape Town Weather Service, Henning joins us on a video call this morning to tell us more. Good morning, Henning. Tell us more about the cold front that we will be experiencing here in South Africa. What can we expect?
Yes, good morning, guys, and awesome to be part of your show this morning. Yes, it seems like winter is back with a bang, and at the moment we've got this very, very strong cold front setting right into Cape Town at the moment, and it's raining all over the metro city and well as along the west coast, and it's going to extend along the south coast a little bit later today, and it seems like there's already some good rainfall amounts that is occurring, and we look forward to a really, really wet, cold and windy day in the mother city. by saying that, we have a couple of warnings out for most part of our region, and it seems like we have a warning out for the Cape Metropole for some localized flooding, heavy rain that might occur in the next couple of days due to this cold front setting in. And with that heavy rain, some localized flooding as mentioned, then very, very strong gusts, wind gusts around about 35 to 55, even 60 kilometers an hour wind expected all along the coast, from Cape Columbi, Cape Point, right to the south coast a little bit later. As this cold front sets in, we also have a very, very strong warning out for some fire danger conditions over our interior. That will be over the central Karoo and Garden Route, as the wind's going to be very strong, also doing around about 30 to 35 knots offshore, wind temperatures nice and warm there, and fire danger warning for conditions that might lead to veld fires during the course of today. All right, then. Interesting, as this cold moves through, very, very cold condition sets in behind this cold front. And we can look forward to snow over our high-lying areas during the course of tonight into tomorrow, and even on Thursday evening to Friday morning over the interior of the Western Cape as it moves eastwards towards our Eastern Cape area. So, yeah, it seems like winter is here.
Yeah.
And, yes.
It certainly is. We can definitely feel it in studio and outside. But how long can we expect this cold front to last? Please don't say too long, because I mean, we want to get outdoors at some point.
Well, let us start first by saying our temperatures is going to plumbing down quite a bit. Our maximum temperature today is expected to be around about 15, 16 degrees, and I think it's going to go down to around about 11, 12 for tomorrow, and then even very cold conditions expected on Friday as well. With this cold front moving through over the interior, we do expect the interior of South Africa, especially the Free State and the Northern Cape area, Western, Northwest Province and Gauteng to get this cold air to move in over them around about Thursday, Friday, and maximum temperatures were also plumbing down there to around about 15, 12 degrees during. So a really, really lot of cold air that's going to move in, and minimum temperature is going to be bitterly cold from Friday onwards into the weekend, and then slowly starting to recover by Saturday, even maybe Sunday.
Well, you know, we are going through a lockdown, so a lot of people are already staying indoors because they've got to stay safe. But as far as the temperatures are concerned, what would you say, Mr. Grobler? Should people be staying indoors or just brave it and go out?
Sing in the rain, maybe.
Sing in the rain. What should we be doing?
I would stay indoors, keep myself warm, drink a lot of coffee, hot chocolate, and just stay warm. It's really unpleasant outside. It's going to become even more colder during this afternoon into tomorrow. So stay indoors, keep yourself warm.
Aww.
Say no more, say no more.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to chat to us this morning, Mr. Henning Grobler. You've been amazing. And now definitely myself and Tabiso, even via social distancing, we're going to try to keep the body heat going between us so we can stay warm.
Yeah, it's cool. Go well, and thanks for having us on the show. It's been awesome.
Thank you very much, the South African Weather Service. Of course, now that the temperatures have dropped in most parts of the country, we urge all of you South Africans to keep warm and stay indoors. Keep safe.
Okay. So I'm chatting to Umalume Musa here. He's owned a small clothing factory for years now, and he's always inspired me with his success. But like a lot of businesses, this lockdown's hit him hard. So he spoke to his banker, and they've put together a tailor-made relief solution for him to help his business and his people get through this. Making your bank your business partner, that's a habit worth keeping.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Now, this is your feel-good breakfast show, Expresso, on SABC3. And of course, it's no secret that the COVID-19 pandemic has wreaked havoc in the world of music. Music makers are suffering with public gatherings restricted and concerts currently ruled out. And some of South Africa's starting to really feel the winter blues. And at the same time, people around the world have turned to music to help them through this crisis. Now, Just Ginger's Art Matthews joins us to talk about how creators and lovers of music are depending on digital media with a wide range of approaches to making, sharing and experiencing music. Art Matthews, man, how are you doing, brother? It's so good to see you.
It's so good to see you. It's crazy not being able to be right there with you guys, but yeah, man, good to see you otherwise.
Yeah, the new times we're living in right now. So listen, earlier on during the lockdown, you put on a performance for your neighborhood that was live streamed and it went viral. So as a musician, talk to me about the place that we're in right now and how you think online platforms are really just so important and really proving their importance in helping you as a musician, not just create, but to share your craft as well.
Well, I think, you know, every time we get presented with a situation like this, it really brings out kind of the best in people because they learn, first of all, what to appreciate and, you know, and how to consolidate and make the best of the situation. So what I realized one Saturday morning, I happened to have a house that the roof just manages to peek over kind of all of Hout Bay.
Yeah.
And I was like, hang on, have I been sleeping underneath possibly the greatest stage in certainly all of Cape Town, if not the world? And I woke up one morning and I just put my speakers pretty much on the roof and I had complete 360-degree views of it. I just started making a bit of a noise and all the people just started coming out of their gardens and just like sat on their verandas and quite a few of them on their roofs. And it was a spur of the moment thing that was completely embraced beautifully. Fortunately by most, you know, and apologies if there's any neighbors who are just not fans. But it was more cheer than not. And then I decided to make a charitable aspect around it, and I managed to give back to the community. I had a donation link up, and before I knew it, the last few events had raised hundreds of thousands of rands. And I was like, whoa, this is why am I flying all the time to all these places? You know, you start being very conscious of your carbon footprints and all sorts of things. And yes, of course, we miss playing to people and the interaction. That will come back at some stage, but it's a new era we live in.
At the moment, streaming performances are, of course, one of the only ways that artists can really connect with their fans, as you've just said now. Tell us a bit more about the Game Beat, the Winter Blues Virtual Music Festival, and why you are so excited to be part of it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was approached to be on the lineup with some other fantastic artists, and I think it's a great initiative of theirs that they, you know, it's just a little bit of an upliftment during the winter blues. They obviously have seen the power and the reach that can happen online, and they've probably identified the artists that they've chosen because they know that we can kind of pull it off, that we've done it before. So it's going to be really cool just to use that platform and just try and create a bit of winter cheer, you know?
Yeah, man. So when and where can we stream your online performances and what can fans expect to see from you, man?
Yeah, so it's going to be live at 7 o'clock on the Game Facebook page. And so just log in on there. I'm pretty sure I'll put a link on mine as well, but that's where you want to go to.
Listen, but take us a little bit into that dungeon studio of yours and tell me about the making of music, that process, how it's changed now, given what is happening around the world, you know, knowing that you're not necessarily preparing to go and be on a stage in front of, you know, 100,000 people as such. The stage is now online. How has that shaped the way that you make music and think about the experience and the consumption of music?
Well, I did a bit of a social experiment, actually, and it's one of them. I did a series called Let Your Word Be Heard, where I wrote a song on my Facebook page, and I invited every one of my fans who've been on there to contribute lyrics. And that would sound like normally a can of worms to not want to do, but it actually worked really beautifully. I just said, just 4 lines each, please, no more than that.
Yeah.
And I actually compiled that is actually about to go to be mixed. And it came out really, really well. So that's kind of the kind of creativity we've had to get up to. And also, it's weird that although we've been the most far apart ever, there's never been more of a coming to... I mean, I've never had such beautiful interaction with fans, and I've spoken them through the process, and I've shown them how to do it, and they all care. And this feels like it's a song for the people about this time. And it's like, so it's actually brought a lot of people together.
Dude, talking about a song for the people, a song for this time, what he means was written many, many years ago. But when you think about the song right now, in the context of the time that we're living in, how much of a mind-blowing experience is it to know what a beautiful and relevant message it is that you penned so many years ago for what we're seeing right now happening around the world?
Yeah, brother. Well, you know that song has managed to stand the test of time for me in so many different times. In my highs and lows of my career, I've always been able to go back and go, well, at least there's this song that just keeps on hitting the point home every time, and it seems like it's becoming more and more relevant as we get on with our lives, and it's always kind of been relevant lyrics, and it's just nice. I have seen some feedback of people using it to uplift their spirits and hopefully carry the message and continue as we work our way through this, because it's very hard for people to see the light at the end of the tunnel at the moment, but I'm pretty sure that the changes that have had to happen, even if it's just on a consciousness level, we're going to come out with some real nuggets and we're going to find kindness.
Yeah, we need so much of that right now in the world, man. Now, I mean, getting back to Games Virtual Music Festival, how important is it for artists like you to be able to be on this kind of platform and to take your art out to the people in this manner? I mean, it's a great opportunity, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, we can't get to shows anymore. So anytime we're able to do something like this, it's considered work, you know. Fortunate enough to set up a little kind of studio that you are so affair with, and like, yeah, I mean, you just know it so well. But almost everyone can kind of set up a bit of a green screen and have a cool little mic and get a decent enough internet connection. And I know it's not ideal, but we are going to have to get used to it. We need to, I think it's wise that musicians start prepping to be able to produce a little live show, and then of course we all can't wait until we can get out there and be in front of people. So these events are very important, and I think it's a great initiative of GAME.
Yeah, man. And while we're all at home, we also have an opportunity to have a big impact on our young people. It is the month of June. It is Youth Month. What's your message out there to young people looking to pursue their dreams in this otherwise very, very difficult time and challenging time?
I think young people must look ahead, and although it's difficult in the moment to realize that we're part of such a historic event, I think they must use this advantage to start really identifying things that really, really matter. It's time to stamp out things that have been suppressing you, and the young people are going to be the ones to do it. And we must start taking a stand for things that we believe in and taking action for it. And I think just sitting back and reflecting and going, okay, what was really important before all of this will be quite important. And I'm hoping that our youth will be the leaders in how we get out of this.
Yeah, absolutely. Art Matthews, thank you very much, man. Always such a pleasure to chat to you.
Kat, you're a legend, brother. Love you, boy.
Likewise, buddy, likewise. Now be sure to stream Art Matthews' performances this evening at 7 p.m. on Game's Facebook page. Of course, spreading joy through music is a privilege, and while our favorite local artists can't perform in a venue on a stage, they now have the opportunity to perform virtually from home in the Game Beat the Winter Blues Virtual Music Festival. So make sure that you catch it. And of course, if you're starting to feel those blues this winter, then it's time to warm up, because we want to know what you would get and what you would buy from Game to beat the winter blues this season. So share your thoughts with us on our Facebook post with the hashtag #GotGame and hashtag #WinterBlues, all to stand a chance of winning a 1,000 Rand Game Stores voucher. T's and C's can be found on expressoshow.com, and the competition runs until the 19th of June. And also remember that Game Stores are open in those hours on Mondays to Fridays from 9 till 6, Saturdays from 9 till 5, and Sundays and public holidays from 9 to 4.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back, guys. It's so good to see you. And of course, we're making some magic today. It's Wednesday's workout, and we're going to focus on strengthening your shoulders after injury with these resistance bands. Now, just using these highly effective stretchy bands, you can help reduce shoulder pain without using any other fitness equipment. So let us get down to business. And I'm joined by the OG himself. It's Graham in the building. How you doing, brother?
Oh, buddy, we continue my rehab.
Yeah, we're just constantly coming
One day we will do a full-blown burpee fitness session,
Yes,
dude.
we're getting there.
But for now, it's just rehab, dude. I absolutely love it. But these guys, they really are magic, Graham.
They're awesome. They're awesome for travel, Graham. If you're rushed, if you don't have time, you don't have opportunity to get to the gym, if you're in lockdown or anything like that, and these bands can be used for various activities. Last time in the studio, we used these to work our pelvic region, our glute, our legs. We're taking it to the upper body now. We're doing the shoulders, and there's some really cool work. So let's get straight into it.
Cool,
we're going to start with our first exercise. Everything that we're doing, we're going to repeat for 12 reps, okay? So you guys at home, if you have a set of these, go for 12 reps, 3 sets of each. But we're going to be starting with working on our external rotators, all right? So often in the gym, we go forward, we go up, but we never work the medial lines and the lateral lines of our body. So getting that socket secured, strong, mobile, and effective is what we're going to do right here. And these bands come in various resistance, as you can see. So work according to your scale.
You kind of...
Yeah, exactly. So it gets thicker and thicker every time. So you guys can work your way up as well as an incentive. So first exercise, external rotations. We're going to have our elbows close to the side of our bodies, right over here. And then what we're going to do is try and get the direction of your arm to go outwards, okay? Now, Graham, it's important not to get your your elbow to go away from your body. You want to really bring it out as far as you can, and you'll feel that stimulation in that external rotator. So holding the band, both of them away from each other, opening up, hold it for 2 seconds, and then straight back down. Your form is actually impeccable, my man. I think you need a thicker band.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Too easy for the gym.
blue band for now. It's great.
What is this rehab you're talking about here, man? All right, so guys, 12 reps of this in total, and you will start to feel a good burn in these shoulders. I don't know if you're feeling it there at all, Graham.
It's instant gratification with shoulder, always. You know you're working shoulder.
Man, and there's so many striations within the shoulder that we actually need to work, and that's why we're changing all these angles.
Keep it dynamic.
So next up, you're going to keep your position as you were and stick your arms straight in front of you. Now we're going to work on the dult, right? So this is the anterior dult of here, as well as the posterior chain, which is that shoulder blade and that scap. So you want it to work and set properly, okay? So while you're still pressing outwards on the band, working that medial line, we're going to bring the band towards our face, and you'll have your elbows nice and high, and you'll feel your scaps squeeze together right at the back here, and then push forward, and now bring it straight up above your head. Feel that stretch. Now you're getting those delts nicely. Now bring it straight in front of you again, and I'll bring it towards your face, called face pull. Hitting those scaps, opening up that posterior chain, pushing forward. Keep the band away from you. Don't let it squeeze in. Keep that tension, and now raise it straight above your head. Graham, you are just on form today. The man is on fire. So much for winter being outside.
You feel it on the posterior, hey?
Definitely. Let's go for one more. Just show everybody at home. Good control. Now, guys, keep this timing, keep the space. Don't rush through this. We're building strength concentrically and eccentrically. So this is going to give you that size, that volume, and of course, that strength and control. All right, Graham, now we're going to start switching the angles up quite a bit. We're going for those angles that we don't often hit, the 45, the 185, etc. Having your steering wheel in front of you now, you're going to grip the band, and you're essentially turning over at 45 to the left, and then pull apart. Yeah, and then bring it back in again. Beautiful stuff. And then turn, rotating opposite side, and then pull up, and then straight back. And you can feel a little bit of work in your lats, but your shoulders should definitely be burning.
Yeah.
Graham, I'm getting a bit of a sweat on you. I don't know about you, bro. Looks like we're just standing here, prancing around, dancing, but we're actually working out, people. All right, so you're feeling the shoulders burning, then you are definitely nailing this workout, and you're doing it correctly. And
what I love about this is it forces you to mentally focus on the muscle group that you it's not just do an exercise for the sake of doing it, but you've got to really think about a very particular set of what you're doing.
Talking magic here, and I think it's such an important point, especially for you guys at home, that concentration is actually what's building that mind-muscle connection, all right? So when you're actually lifting your bicep and squeezing it, which will be our next exercise, concentrate on the bicep, not the shoulder or the forearm, and that's actually physically going to increase the sustainability and the growth factor in that muscle itself, right? So you guys at home, concentrate on the muscle that you're working, and this is going to bring us to our last exercise, which is exactly that. So you can take a knee, Graham, and as much as we are working shoulders, I like to work the accessory muscles around the shoulder as well, just to kind of...
Because everything's attached to something.
Exactly that. So you can put the band in between your foot, and you finish off with this last exercise. It's a bicep curl. You want to get your arm nice and straight, right on that line over here, and then you simply lifting that arm up, squeezing that bicep, and making some magic as you release. And eccentrically, you want to lower it nice and slowly. You're going to feel that size and volumization. And as well, it's going to work on just a little bit of that rotation as well as the insertion of that shoulder. Graham, I'm seeing that pump there, man. Look at the man's form.
And if you're going to kind of hit the clubs on a Friday night, maybe this is a good one just to give you that little extra pump. No, it's all about the focus, I'm realizing, and that's such a big thing. If you are recovering from an injury as well, to have that mind-muscle connection is almost as important. But brilliant stuff, Jude. Thank you so much, man.
Absolute pleasure. Guys, enjoy this workout. We over to the kitchen to warm up the booty, and that's still enjoy.
Clover cheese is for those who love life, where everything falls into place and melts away our cares. Clover, for the love of cheese.
Made with love by Clover.
Graham, man, I see you. I see your hard work. I recognize your hard work. Ryle, thank you so much for that, for putting him through his paces in that workout. And I think that you have definitely worked up an appetite. And if you're trying to also work up an appetite at home and get your loved ones to consume more veggies, then I can guarantee you that our Moorish clover cheese, onion and mushroom rolls will keep the family coming back for more. And Nicole is on standby to show us how to adapt this recipe to include almost any vegetable with a bit of cheesy indulgence. And who's going to say no to that? Absolutely no one. Nicole, it's all about the cheese.
All about the cheese.
And the vegetables at the same time.
Yeah, today we're doing a lot of vegetarian dishes, actually only vegetarian dishes.
Yeah.
So it's actually nice for a change.
Yes, it is. It is nice to just vary your sort of food repertoire at home, right?
Yeah, but I mean, looking at that, you wouldn't say it's vegetarian,
No,
right?
you wouldn't. You wouldn't. But also the smell of this is so inviting because the whole time since you prepared this and put it on here, I have been wanting to eat it. The amount of restraint I've had to make and do sitting here is insane.
I know you're lucky I have to do social distancing, so I can't slap your hand away from taking one.
Yes, I'm not going to say you haven't tried with that roller, but yeah. Okay, so what are we doing
So we've
here?
got some onions that I've just caramelized in a little bit of butter.
Yeah.
And I'm going to add my mushrooms and get this going.
I love mushrooms.
Do you?
Love,
actually
love,
really
love
good
them.
for you, and they're actually meatier than you think. You know, if you want to swap these out for portobellini mushrooms, it's a lot more woodier in flavor, and it's also a lot more meatier in texture.
Thicker. They're also thicker.
Yes. So you're just going to add a little bit of garlic because mushrooms, garlic, and onion. I mean,
They go well together. Yeah.
So I'm just let this cook so long while I show you guys how to make the pastry.
Okay, cool.
So the pastry is nice and simple. It's a very short crust pastry. You think it's like puff pastry, but it's a rough puff / short crust.
So are you saying to me now that we're making this pastry from scratch? We're doing it all ourselves? Okay, cool. And you're saying it's going to be an easy, simple one?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
It is.
Let me pay attention. Let's see.
Okay, so we've got some butter and flour in here.
Okay.
And then to make it a little bit different, your pastry, you're going to add mustard powder.
Okay.
So you're going to add a little bit of flavorings to it, you know. So
Mustard powder, nice. I love that because it adds so much to it. From a flavor perspective, it's really good.
Yes.
It lifts it.
And this is the hardest part, is actually just rubbing the flour and the butter together. So you want to do this to basically shorten the crumb of the pastry. So if you're going to start mixing it, you're going to almost stretch the gluten in the flour and you're going to get a chewy, hard pastry.
Okay,
which is not what you want.
So you're going to make sure that you've mixed it all nicely together. Spend enough time in this process. This is very, very important because it determines how it's going to come out in the end. The quality of your pastry is really just in how you do this step here.
Exactly.
Okay, cool.
So we've got 2 cheeses I've used in this recipe.
Yeah.
I've used some clover cheddar, which I've got over here. Now this is going to go into the pastry. So as you can see, it's getting a lot more like breadcrumb-like texture.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to add the cheese, and you're going to... How beautiful is that rain?
I know, it's raining.
We're hearing the rain, guys.
It's just sounding so good. And this
amazing. It's
the perfect thing.
I'm telling you, we are making the most beautiful wintry meals today.
I think we actually aren't going to leave after 9 o'clock. We're all going to just hang around here and have you make us some nice...
Is that so? I'll be sending you guys invoices at the end of the month.
That's fine. No, that's fine. That's fine. We pay for good quality food and experiences.
Oh, thank you.
With your talent, there's no price to it. Okay, cool. So now you've added the cheese, the cheddar cheese, but you're using 2 cheeses. So you're going to be using the feta as well.
Yes, so the feta is going to go into our filling. So I've fried this up, and I'm going to just quickly wipe my hands so that I can add the feta quickly. And your pastry, just to finish it off, you're going to add a little splash of water, which I've done. Then you're going to mix it up and you'll see it comes together beautifully just like this.
Okay, cool. We know that the Clover cheese range is made with 100% Clover fresh milk, which is fantastic. You want to make sure that everything is 100% quality and great, and you can get that guarantee just using these ones. But also, you can also add your favorite Clover cheese. It doesn't matter what cheese you like.
Yeah.
You can add any.
You can add, they've got tassas.
Yes.
They've got the Gouda as well.
Yes.
And we're adding feta here, in which the feta, they've got the black pepper and the herb one, so you can choose.
I really like these rolls we're making here because they really are a great way to get your veggie intake in and just up it a little bit by adding more veggie like spinach, or use baby marrows instead of mushrooms, for example, which you were telling me earlier on that if you didn't use mushrooms, you can use baby marrows. I like that idea.
Yeah, you can. It's up to you if you
can
want to
play
add more
with
veggies,
it.
but then I would grate them in just to make it more the same texture.
Okay, all right, I see.
So
Okay,
we've
cool.
rolled it out.
Yeah.
Now you've taken your filling that I've got in the pan there, you've let it cool, because if you put the hot filling on here, it's going to melt the butter.
Of course.
So you're just going to put this all into your pastry, and
Yeah.
then I'm going to roll it up into a little sausage, cut it like I've done in individual portions there, or you
Yeah.
could do a whole big one as well.
And that really is the easier part, isn't it?
This is the easiest
The
part.
easier
yeah.
part, okay,
So
well.
preheated oven to be so 200 degrees. Pop this in for 15 to 20 minutes for golden brown.
I
Done.
love it. I love it. If you want this recipe, go on our website, www.expressoshow.com. This is what the final product looks like. It smells so, so good. It's so inviting, and I promise you, everyone's going to be they're going to keep coming back for more and more and more. How long would you keep it in the oven?
15, or
15
you could do
minutes.
10 to 15 minutes.
I'm going to taste one. I'm going to tell you if it's good or not, okay? And I'm going to
Okay.
be honest.
Let me know.
Oh my gosh.
Cheesy, right? There's
Man.
the onion, the mushrooms.
This is so, so good. I love this. Thank you very, very much. We're going to be catching up with Art Matthews. I know you like him. You love his music.
Yes.
So we're going to be chatting to him a bit later on. So make sure you stick around for that while I eat these, and then save some for the team
I'm
as
just
well.
going to organize something to wash them down with too.
I'll drink this. Cheers in the meantime.
Cheers.
Clover cheese is for those who love life, where everything falls into place and melts away our cares. Clover, for the love of cheese.
Made with love by Clover. Only you can make my day. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso, right here on SABC3. Thank you so much for waking up on the right side of lockdown.
Still washing down those delicious rolls. I can't wait for you to taste them. But acoustic rock artist Art Matthews, he needs very little introduction within the South African music landscape. The double platinum selling and much loved frontman. He's known for his multiple hit singles. I mean, there are many. But what if we told you that he also has got some, hidden talents as well, like building a floating studio, for example. We heard about that with Kat. He had a chat with Kat a bit earlier on. Don't take our word for it. He joins us via video call just to tell us more. A bit of a catch up with him once again. Art Matthews, good morning.
Good morning. How are you guys?
Ah, man, so good. Even better hearing your voice and seeing you. You're such an inspiration this morning.
Truly odd. Tim, which is the Impossible Machine, is your latest restoration project. How did this project come about?
Well, I was going to start telling Kat this morning, then I realized that you guys have a whole show to get through, so I'm glad you asked the question. But so the album that you guys so beautifully supported when it came out last year, the solo album, also won my first SAMA award, and the album's called Impossible Machines. And so I just thought, 10 years ago, I did my Yachtmaster license. Maybe I knew that this would happen one day, but I managed to find this old classic wooden ship, and it's a proper pirate ship. If you go and check out online on Instagram, you type in follow Tim SV, you'll see photos of her. She's beautiful. She's all wooden. She was built by the African Navy, and I'd always had a dream to go sailing around the world. I just didn't know that I would get my hands on such a beautiful vessel. So I named her after the album. And I'm putting a studio in the back, and I'm going to go and sail and write songs around the world. And every now and then I'll beam in like this, except I'll be in Madagascar next time we speak.
Wow.
What can't you do? What is it that you simply just cannot do? Tell me now, please.
It sounds exciting.
It is.
There's still a lot of work to do on her. She's currently up in Ghana, and I'll be going up tomorrow morning because it's a proper restoration. So it's at least going to take the rest of the year for me to be kitted out. I also, just because I have this advanced license, I'm not as advanced in my actual sailing experience. So I still have to do a lot of work to sort myself out. But I think once it's done, I think it's going to be fun because we're going to be creating a lot of really unique content, meeting different people around the world, writing albums on board, and just collaborating with musicians, and basically just having the very best time that I can, to be honest.
And when you're not fixing boats, you're attending high-intensity interval training. I mean, and I can tell you now that is not an easy feat. These online workouts that you've been doing, and you're also trying out new recipes. What other hobbies have you picked up during this lockdown?
Well, I joined a very cool online group called Jeff, which also happens to be the name of my dog.
Is he there with you?
They've got this cool community where at 6, 7, and 8 in the morning, and then at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, they do these awesome classes online, and they're free. And then if you want to kind of join, you pay $200 a month or something like that. But they made some, and I really enjoyed it. It was one way for me to try and get a little bit active during lockdown because I've been cooking and eating a little bit more. Perhaps I should have.
Yep.
That's a love bubble, okay?
Can we call it lockdown puppy fat? I mean, I don't know what to do for it or something like that.
Is your dog there with you right now?
Okay. Jeff is just run out as I said that. He's run. Have you seen the weather this morning? Obviously in Cape Town. It's quite diabolical. I don't know where. I think he's so used to his run at this time that he's gone to the gate anyway.
Hey, it depends how you look at it. I think it's the perfect time to just cuddle up and keep warm and keep sharing all of that love. But man, we've really loved checking you out. We've followed you on social media, and I think you've inspired so many people since the first time we had a chat with you on the show here when you performed for your neighbors. And now you've got this vessel that you've transformed into a whole studio. You're going to be doing amazing things there. You are doing high-intensity interval training. You are learning new recipes.
You're loving on your puppy, your dog.
I want to be your best friend. I really just... I want to be best friends with you. I'm going to call you privately after this.
You sound like a wholesome person with everything planned out, and we love that so much.
Thank you so much.
Supported, and you've been with me through thick and thin, and so I'm always very grateful. I think it's quite exciting. For those who want to follow the progress, just as I say, type in the word follow, Tim, and SV. SV stands for sailing vessel. So follow Tim SV. Check out photos, and I'm going up tomorrow to show you what her new paint job looks like. I'm painting the whole black.
Oh, wow.
The Impossible Machine on a hull. It's going to look beautiful.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. I mean, now that you've got a brand new best friend over here, I'm going to be helping you with the painting, hopefully. Let me know if you need extra hands.
And we'll sail around the world together.
Yes, you need extra hands. But thank you.
Just the two of us. We can make it.
Just the two of us. And we can make it if we try.
That's Art Matthews. But of course, a lot of people have picked up some interesting hobbies during lockdown. But we must admit, this is the first time that we hear of a floating studio being built, right?
Exactly. What can't Art Matthews do? It's now time to celebrate your music, Art Matthew, by playing a song that won Best Adult Contemporary Album at the 2019 Summers. It's called The Impossible Machine.
Girlfriend! Woohoo!
This life is so predictable. We do curious things with impossible machines. And this I know, that you can't rely on anyone, 'cause everyone else is afraid of the dark. Thoughts that harm you, put anger and fear aside, 'cause the best of you is yet to come, this I know. You know that life is sweet if you like to see it that way now. I was more considerate, there'd be something to be said for it. And I believe in every sentimental word I've heard 1,000 times before. Now don't forget about the good lives we've had, filled with things we don't need. These impossible machines making more than we need to live this life consciously. You are all you need from now on. Show them love, kill them with kindness. Put anger and fear aside, 'cause the best of you is yet to come, this I know. Show them that life is sweet if you like to see it that way now. Tell me, have you been there? I don't know, perhaps that's where I'm going. Far from it all. See it. Well, I'm blinded by the way it moves my soul. Tell me, can you feel it? Nearly there, we've been riding on. Tell me, have you been there? I don't know, perhaps that's where I'm going. Far from it all. See it? Well, I'm blinded by the way it moves my soul. Moves my soul. Can you feel it? Moves my soul. Feel it. You are all you need from now on.
Go best friend, go best friend.
Dance,
Man.
dance. Hey, go.
Thank you so much for joining us, Art Matthews. You are a true inspiration. You brought so much feel good onto the
Yes.
show this morning, and all of the best with your project. We love you, all right? Woo! Cheers, man.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. I'll call you. I'll call you.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Oh, well, after all of that dancing, worked up a little bit of a sweat. Thank you so much, Art Matthews. What a brilliant way to kickstart our day. Thank you so much. Right now, though, we're going to turn our attention to what we can do to make just a little bit of a difference. What difference can I make? A question that I think runs through everyone's mind when it comes to charity and donations, especially now with so much need around food security. Skipping a spoil is maybe a great way to start, a small step.
Absolutely. I think when you take away maybe having a cup of coffee in the morning or a takeaway meal or anything, and then use that cash to donate and give back, I feel like that is just a senseless act of a way that you can give back.
Completely. And a small step we've spoken about can make a big difference. While eating 3 meals a day may be taken for granted by most of us, especially with the amount of cooking we've been doing and in loving this kind of lockdown life from that perspective, it's a luxury maybe that we have any of this, and we really do take it for granted. Maybe you're in desperate need of daily assistance from the South African public, and your reality is not that. Maybe even 1 square meal a day is a stretch. Well, thanks to Woolworths and the Fill a Bag campaign, just 10 Rand will help feed someone 3 daily meals. 10 Rand. That is incredible. That means you can make a massive difference, a tangible difference every day. So join in how we are demonstrating as South Africans just how quickly and easily we can lend a helping hand. You want to go through the process?
Absolutely. First, you want to obviously download the Snap Scan app on your phone and then safely register your account free of charge. Your card details are encrypted and will be safely stored on your phone. That's the first step. Yes.
Yeah, it really is. And then all you have to do is scan the QR code on screen. There it is, right there, using SnapScan. This will instantly take you to the Woolworths Help Feed a Family donation page, where you can then enter whatever amount you're able to donate and then click pay. And if you like to be, so you can donate 5 grand like you did last.
Yeah. This is actually his phone as well again, so I'm just going to be putting in, and then you just press pay. Absolutely. Now, remember, if you don't have SnapScan, then you can also use your banking app to scan the QR code on screen, or visit woolworths.co.za/together we will for more info on how to make an EFT donation. It is that simple.
And we've seen firsthand that this is making it to families who desperately need it. So if you are able to make a big donation, if you're a corporate or someone in the private sector who is able to push up that donation scale, do it. But we are just asking for as little as 10 Rand. So far, Woolies have managed to raise 818,111 Rand and a cool 61 cents, thanks to your collective efforts. That's incredible. Thank you so much. This means 1,319 bags donated and 325 meals. That's incredible, out of their 1 million meals goal. So we can still help them get to that, and we are going to do it. By your help, I think, is the most important thing, and it really is still needed to assist those who cannot assist themselves. They are in a really, really bad place right now. So skip a spoil today, maybe just set aside that coffee, as Jamie said, make a daily difference to someone else, and then go out and challenge your friends, challenge your family, challenge your neighbors, your colleagues to go and join the cause as we stand together and help our fellow South Africans in need, just 1 meal at a time.
I'm just snapping away.
Do it, do it.
Here we go.
Thank you, Tabiso. You're very generous, buddy.
Oh, I need
Very
his pin.
generous.
I need his pin, though.
And boom.
Great pin.
Yes, that, Chef Clem. Did you see? He was actually checking out to see if she's actually scanning, and she is. Shout outs to you, Jamie Lee. Are you also going to donate? Have you donated?
I've been donating, and I think it's a great way to actually make a difference. It's so easy. It's never been easier for you to be part of something that's so great. And right now, I think the smallest little bit that we can do, especially with like weather's changing, we need to like start thinking about our neighbors, like everyone else. It makes you feel good to be part of something that's making such a huge difference.
You're all warm inside.
Yeah.
Right? And I love that, the act of giving back. Now we're back in the kitchen making something that has all the savory goodness for this winter season. Chef Clem, what are we making?
We're making a brinjal lasagna.
Brinjal lasagna.
Yeah. So brinjal is not just an emoji, okay?
AKA what?
It's also called eggplant. Brinjal was another aubergine. It's got some other names. But what's it in Vernac? What is it in Vernac?
I don't know what it is in Vernac, in Xhosa.
To our viewers at home, if you know what it's called in like any other names you have for brinjal, let us know on social media.
Oh, Jamie has something.
Jamie has a name.
She said something about blow something.
Oh, I can't say that on TV. I can't say that name on TV.
Okay.
But yeah, on social media, maybe so one of our viewers can drop the name on there.
Okay. But let me attempt though. Okay, eggplant.
Eggplant.
In Xhosa, direct translation of an eggplant, iqanda leblom.
Who knows? Let us know.
Okay,
We don't know.
actually, let's get into
It's
it.
not just about you learning at home. Sometimes we need the education, so let us know.
Yes, please, let us know.
Okay, so this is what I did was I took the brinjal and I cut it into quarters and I put it into a pot with shallots and then I cooked it down. I'm trying to break down the texture of the brinjal, but I don't want to break it down too much that it goes mush. That's why I kept it in quarters. But at home, if you want, you can cut it into little squares and roast it like that. Now we're gonna start building on flavor. I added some olive oil to that. I'm going in with some garlic, instant flavor with the garlic going in. Then we're gonna go with some more chili because we can, and then salt and pepper again. So that's already, it smells amazing. If you blended that up, you'd make a beautiful brinjal dip. It would be so amazing. With a bit of cream cheese through it.
Dip?
Yeah.
What would you dip in it?
You like some crudité, some bread.
Okay.
Some going the opposite way now. We're doing vegetarian, but it would drop some like some smoky sausages in there, just like in your mouth. Yeah, I think it'd be amazing.
Okay.
Okay.
It smells so delicious, Clem.
It smells so good already. To this now, I want to add some tomatoes. Now, we always use tin tomatoes that's been chopped, but you also get the whole tomatoes, and sometimes they got a more intense tomatoey flavor when they're still whole. So what you do is you add them to your brinjals, and you let it cook. And then you actually smash it down later on, just break it up slightly. I also like the fact that you're not gonna break it down too much. You can keep chunks of tomato in this lasagna filling, which I think is absolutely amazing.
Oh, is that what we want? We want chunks also just coming through.
Absolutely. I mean, look at that tomato. So you can see once it cooks down a little bit more, it's already soft, but once everything's come together and it's beautiful and delicious, take a spoon and just kind of like break it up a little bit. But keep the texture in there.
The recipes, it looks like the recipes are so simple and it's so quick to make
It
as well.
is.
It's not as horrifying.
It's not, absolutely. It's so delicious and so easy to put together. And again, we're not trying to say don't eat meat, but we're trying to say there's another option for you as well. So I think this is a great one. Let's talk about fresh herbs. Fresh herbs are a great way to add flavor to your dish. Any dish, any savory dish, sometimes even sweet dishes. They grow, like you just literally, this guy, we just be watering it and it just grows, which is nice. It means you always have a supply of fresh herbs on hand. So all I do with this is I just literally break it up, throw it in there, and that was basil that went in. Basil stalks are also really great, so chop that up, throw it in there. Sage, we don't use a lot of sage. I don't know why, we should. It's great, it's super floral. I'm gonna give you some.
Yes, please, because I'd like to smell it.
It kind of like rub it between your hands. Because we washed our hands.
It's a very textured plant as well.
It is. So thank you for saying this. So what you're gonna do is you wanna actually chop it up and break it down a bit and then add it to your filling.
Okay.
You like it?
I like it so much. And I feel like you can just grow it also in your kitchen and it will have that smell or aroma in your house as well.
Absolutely, you can. So then what we're gonna do now is we got some herbs, rosemary going in, and I took that from your plant over there. That's why it's looking a bit short, okay? We've been trimming. So for the rosemary, I'm just gonna take the rosemary and then run my fingers along the stem and you get like all the little leaves come off. And
Just like that.
Just like that, just like that. It's super easy. So that's gonna cook down. And then after about half an hour of cooking, we get this amazing filling. So let me just clear some space. By the way, on social media, on my Instagram, I ask people, what's your favorite comfort veggie dish? 90% of people, they're all like cauliflower and broccoli with cheese sauce.
What?
And I get it. It's so comforting, but like, I meant like as a dish completely. I'm imagining all of you sitting at home there with like baka, like of cauliflower and cheese sauce. But hey, it's a. You know what I'll do? Actually, in the future, I'll actually make it delicious, like broccoli, cauliflower, cheese sauce.
Please do that for some
for
of us. We need to be converted. If you would like to get your hands on this delicious, healthy recipe, make sure to head on over to taste.co.za. Okay, so now we're layering out our lasagna.
I'm doing a baby portion. This is for young Tabiso. This is for him. Then I'm taking our lasagna sheet. All I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna snap it. Just like that. I'm gonna kind of put it in there. Add another layer of the filling. Sprinkle some cheese over, a couple of almonds for crunchiness. It goes into the oven for 20 minutes and it comes out so delicious, so flavorsome. You're not gonna miss the meat. You're gonna be enjoying this for days.
And we're gonna put that right now in the oven, okay? And I can't wait for it to fill up my stomach.
Oh, it's gonna be so good.
Absolutely, and also just with the Fill a Bag campaign happening now that Breezy has paired up with Gift of the Givers, it's an incredible initiative that we can all contribute towards to help someone with as little as 10 Rand. You can feed one person 3 meals a day.
I know. It's so easy.
Super.
True story, I gave my sister my old phone with all my banking details on it. She tells me she made a donation to give to the givers. She used my phone, my account.
I love it so much. All right.
Thank you.
We love you, South Africa. Thank you. We'll see you tomorrow morning, bright and early. Mwah!
Expresso Show, made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.